What up, world? What up, world? What up, world? What up, world? It's your boy Big XL. Y'all know what it is. This is Riding Dirty Radio Live. All right. Now, this is the show where we come to you guys. We come to you guys and we talk about interesting topics. We talk to people who are definitely changing our community, the movers and the shakers, the people that are definitely coming to the community with nothing but positive energy, whether you're an artist, entertainer, entrepreneur, activist. This show is all about just sitting down, talking to the people live, opening up the chat, letting you guys come in, ask questions, discuss, or whatever, whether it's debate, whether it's discussing, but we're going to make sure it's healthy. We're going to make sure it's positive. Again, I'm your host, Vic XL. A lot of y'all know me from the Riding Dirty Radio stream. A lot of y'all might know me from the Country Rap Report. But this is when I like to sound, just talk to the people, man. People that got things going on. The people that are definitely rocking. All right, so today, man, today is no different than any other time we talk to people. We have a gentleman that I've been rocking with for a long time, who's definitely been an activist in the community, a person for change. Today we have
All right, how you doing, my brother?
Sundiata. What's going on, sir? You know what,
My
Chief?
brother.
Hold on, let's start this, Chief. Let's start here, Chief. Because
Mhm.
I have always tore your name apart. I just call you Chief, but it's Chief.
Yeah.
It's Cheif Sundiata
Sundiata Keita
Cheif
Kamara.
Sundiata Keita Kamara, but I call you Chief. All
You
right.
call me Chief.
All right, Cheif Kamara.
Nearly 20 years we've been knowing each other, man. You know, nearly 20, or probably over. No, it's over because I met you back in 1997 or 98.
You met me when I was skinny.
Huh?
You met me
You
when I
looking
was
good, man.
skinny.
You looking good. You looking good. I'm looking. I didn't get to the barber. I had to put my hat on because I ain't brushed so I could be spinning. But you looking good, my brother. You looking great.
Well, so Chief, before we get into this situation and what have us here and what we're going to discuss about what's going on in the communities of Chicago, I want you to let the people know a little bit about your background because, man, you are very astute in martial arts. You've been an artist, an activist, an entrepreneur. Bring the people up to speed on Cheif Kamara.
Yeah. Of course, my name is Cheif Sundiata Keita Kamara. I'm the founder of Sankore African Society. Also, the founder of Sankore University of African Martial Arts. I teach African culture. You know, I think that we as a people have been robbed of our names, our language, our culture, our religion, our God, our folkways, mores, norms, and given the identity of Europeans. So Sankore African Society is an attempt to give our children and our nation back their rightful culture to take their rightful place.
Okay. All right. Now, when did you found this organization?
Yeah, I founded this organization in 1999. But I began teaching martial arts in 1990 or 89. I started when I was like a child and got my black belt in 1986, uh, 85, 86, I think it was. And so I started teaching, and students did very well, but I started to see how they need to know more about their culture. So I made a journey to Africa in 99, and that's when I founded Sankore African Society in the Gambia, West Africa. After going to the Roots Homecoming Festival hosted by our brother Yaya Jame of the Gambia. And I went there and uh, went through initiation there. And then in 2001, I was initiated as a chief to teach traditions and culture here in America, in the state of Gunjur with Yaya, the state of Gunjur by Sharif Johnny and the elders of Gunjur. Mhm.
All right. Now, what does it mean to be a chief?
Well, a chief is person who gives the guidance and is a servant of the people of that particular, whether it's a small town or a village or a city or a state, you know what I'm saying, or even a nation. So it's his job to teach the people, educate the people, and serve the people. And when I say that means assembling the educators, so that's what the chief's job is. Hmm.
Okay. All right. Now, what? And we're gonna get more into this, but I'm always been fascinated by martial arts. What led you to the martial arts?
Well, I was in. My mother put me in when I was a child just to learn self defense, and I was real good at it. And I think in my when I started with Master Carlos Lavington at Cole Park on 85th and King Drive. But took judo before that and Aikido from Sensei, who actually taught. He actually had a school by the fort with the El Rookins and Blackstone Rangers, and so he taught me Aikido. And then I went to judo. Then I went, but my main teacher was Master Carlos Lavington and Master Anthony Ivory. Well, Grandmaster Carlos Lavington, Grand Master Anthony Ivory, and Grandmaster Ande Sup taught me. It was a guy from Korea who taught Anthony. He taught us and worked with us. So I got pretty good. In my first month, I'd already skipped like 2 belts and got like a orange belt, and only been in a month. Because in those days we would go to camp at 9 a.m. in the morning and would train all the way to 4 o'clock in the evening, afternoon, and all day. What would take an hour lunch. So in a month, I had already uh, I skipped 1 belt and went to orange belt. It normally takes about 3 to 6 months to get your first belt. I did it in a month. Started competing. Won the Junior Olympic Championships, AAU at that time in '85, and I started teaching about 1989, 1990, and fought PKC kickboxing. Opened up my school in '97 in Georgia, and ever since. But now, things are. I'm gonna be doing something in Fayetteville very soon. Open up a school. Just getting back acclimated. But I've been teaching. A few private students here, but the economy got so bad with COVID and all that, I had to take a step back. But I'm an activist, man. I love black people. I love our people. I want to see our people free. Um, don't like the grips that white supremacy has on us. Don't like what Arabs are doing to our people. Uh, I don't like any of that. So it's sad what's happening to our people. Now I think I got a couple of video. I got a video clip. Can I show a video clip later on in the thing?
Yeah, we're definitely. If
I'll
we
text.
don't show it, I'll definitely can add the links.
All right,
I can definitely
but
add the links.
it's only about 2 minutes at the most.
Yeah, you gonna show them on your end?
No, can you do it if I text you? You know how to do it, don't you?
If you send me the link, I'll try. That's why I say send me the links. I'll try. If not, I'll definitely put the links in the comment area.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So look, let's talk about, because you said that you are definitely for our community and our people being free.
Right.
Now, a lot of people in the community feel like we are free.
Well, that's a misnomer because we're not free. We're not free. There are more black men in jail, in prison, on parole, what I'm saying, probation, than there was in 1850 during the height of slavery. So we have a new form of Jim Crow, a new form of slavery. And in the Arab world, and Saudi Arabia, which has prompted me to say there's still a slave trade going on. They literally sell Africans on apps. So no one of us, no man, no woman, no child, can rise above the conditions of his or her people. So if our people are suffering in Africa, then we should suffering here. So we have not arrived. If you go to Timbuktu and we're suffering, then we all are suffering because we are African people, and we need to fight for freedom all over the globe. And so slavery still exists, Jim Crow still exists, black men gunned down for simply just being black. Black women is the most disrespected woman on the face of the earth. Um, Financially, we're suffering because we don't do for ourselves. We depend on a white man to give us food, clothing, and shelter. You know what I'm saying? We depend on the white man to give us a job. You know, we dependent on people because we are not doing for self. We really don't love ourselves. You look at the dynamic. We just hateful toward each other. A man like me, which my hit song that Vic helped popularize, the goddamn white man. I get so much slack because I talk about white people or talk about Arabs. But if I want to talk about black people, even on the platform I was doing sonetas a couple weeks ago, and I got to talk about white folks. We get nervous because they'll pull us off. But I can say nigga all day long. I can call my sister a bitch all day long, and they like that. But the moment I begin to speak against white supremacy, it's a problem. You
All right,
see what I'm
so
saying?
look, I want to dive into that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now, so you say the moment you can say nigga all day, every day. You can say bitch, bitch, bitch all day, every day, and there's no problem.
Right.
Now, what would be your words, or how do you feel about, like, okay, like say for instance, in the hip hop culture. In the hip
Mm-hmm.
hop culture, if there's a song, bitch this, suck that, fuck that, nigga that, right? In
Mm-hmm.
the hip hop culture, that culture and that music is supported by the African American community first. What do you say to those people who have popularized it? Because other races, a lot of times, they're mostly generated by the money that's being generated. At one point in time, when Public Enemy was a huge group, or Public Enemy does a show now, the people in attendance are majority white. So, what do you say to our community when we tend to take these things and bring them to the forefront, and those people who stand to profit from it just latch on?
Yeah. Well, what people you saying? So what do I say about the people that profit off of it?
No, what do you say about the people in our community that accept it?
Well, our people are blind, with all due respect and out of love. We're blind, deaf, and dumb. And we've been made that way by 400 years of slavery, going back 1,000 years with the Arab and the slave trade. I don't want to let that get the Arab off the hook at all. So our people really don't know themselves or love themselves. So we've been taught to hate ourselves. You emulate white people, you want to be like white people. You wear the white man's name. What are your names? Eric Johnson. That's the name of a white man. What kind of clothes you wear? You wear what your slave master wear. What kind of
I got
food you
Levi's hat on.
eat? What kind of food you eat? Your slave master's food. You celebrate your slave on the plantation when he say, "All right, y'all niggas got the day off. It's the 4th of July." You know you celebrating the white man's independence, right? You out there celebrating, barbecuing, and all that stuff. Everything your slave master does, you do. So you still a slave, and um you don't know what it means to be free, because only a slave would disrespect his woman. Only a slave would allow, in them days, the white man could knock on your door, rape your mother, rape your wife. Hell, he might even rape you. You see what I'm saying? And you could do nothing about it. So that's essentially rape about women when you see in the industry them disrespecting and exploiting black women the way they do. That's the mind of a slave, because a free black man will kill for his woman. A free black man will chop the goddamn head off of anybody who would disrespect his woman. No man, no real man would allow his woman to be disrespected. No real man would do that. So therefore, we are 2022, dressed up, Gucci, Louis Vuitton, iPhone 15 and 16, Bentley and Mercedes Benz driving, you know what I'm saying? Slaves. That's what we are in today's time.
Okay. How can we correct it?
We can correct it by gaining knowledge of self, knowing who you are, knowing where you come from, you know, uh, respecting yourself, respecting your black woman, beginning to love each other, man. You know, Also, I didn't mention I am also the national spokesman for the Almighty Vice Lord Nation as well, and
Whoa,
incorporated.
whoa.
I don't
So
speak for
you're the
all, but
spokesman for the vice lords?
yeah, for not all vice lords, but only those that are in the Almighty Vice Lord Nation Incorporated, which we legally incorporated last year, and those who subscribe to a Black Power, Black nationalist yield, so to speak. So I don't speak for everybody, but I am respected, you know, by most vice lords, I should say. But
Right.
we don't indulge in criminal activity. We don't sell drugs. We don't hurt our people. We're here to uplift and build our people.
Okay. All right. Look. So and me and you've been talking about this for weeks. Um, let's talk about Chicago because you are sometimes an ATL resident. You are in Chicago a lot. Um, I haven't. Matter of fact, I haven't seen you in a while because you've been in Chicago.
Hmm.
Let's talk about Chicago and first and foremost how Chicago is being depicted to us via via the television screen, the movie screen, and the internet. Chicago is being viewed as a very, very dangerous place for African American males. We got youngsters gunning each other down all day, every day. A lot of people putting it on the music, drill. A lot of people are saying it's lack of education, lack of jobs. Let's talk about Chicago. How do you feel about Chicago and what's going on in that community today?
Well, they tend to over dramatize what's happening in Chicago. If you look at now I'm not saying that, of course, there are violence. Those things exist like any other city. But if you look at what's happening, only 100% of the population commits some type of violent crime. So that's 1 out of 10,000. So what about the 9,999 young Black men who go to school, who raise families? You see what I'm saying? Uh, who are doing positive things. That's not emphasized. It's not emphasized of the good people like a Don Durkee or uh, a El Rahim or Kenya Bay or Brother Morua or even myself, Cheif Kamara. Those things are not given the airways because what white folk want to do, ever since they let us go out of slavery, is to villainize the Black man, to criminalize the Black man. As you know, one of the things that made the Klan grow was called The Birth of a Nation, what depicted Black men as being lawless and rapists, you know what I'm saying? So they can continue to enslave us and lock us up and build prisons, and no one seems to care. So you can see a police officer gun down a brother, you know what I'm saying? Gun down him and say, oh, he was probably a criminal, or Trayvon Martin walking, minding his own business, and a jury could have quit that white man, quit this devil. Because the world wants people to think the Black man is a criminal and he's a degenerate, which is not the case. And yes, we have a problem in Chicago, again, because we've lost our culture, we lost our religion, we lost our God, our folk ways, as I said earlier, our mores and our norms. And so, yes, we have a serious problem, but the media wants to get all the attention. So we're working to fix those violent, you know, situations that are far too. But there's a lot of good people in Chicago. Chicago's a beautiful city. Uh, uh, it's beautiful, beautiful Black people, beautiful hardworking people. Chicago's the birthplace of many of our organizations, like the Nation of Islam had their headquarters here. Not the birthplace, but the headquarters are based out here. Uh, the Chairman Fred Hampton. So many Operation Push. So many beautiful organizations are based out of Chicago. Chicago has a beautiful Black community.
Okay. So let's talk about some of the things that. So how do you feel about the music? Because a lot of people view the music coming out of Chicago now. I know we got Common, Kanye, but a lot of people focus in a lot on the music of Chicago, like the drill and the way it's turning. It's kind of leading the African American male. Like, what do you feel about the music? Do you feel like the music is impacting a lot of the violence in the city?
Well, music is definitely always important. Music can spark revolution, and music can spark being degenerate. So our young brothers are, just talking about their reality, and it just shows the consciousness of our young brothers. They're good young men. So our job is to not condemn our brothers, but to reach out for them, you see. Because white folk know once we can reach a little Dirk and a little baby, you see what I'm saying? Then their days of, you know, having their foot on our neck is over with. So these brothers just gotta be reached out for, and once they receive a conscience, like I was saying, like some of the things that Ti did at 22, you see a more conscious Ti now, where he's in the roots and traveling to Africa, but it takes time to reach these brothers and sisters with consciousness. So we're reaching out for our brothers and hopefully get them on board to make their music to uplift, make music to benefit our people. But let me say this: nowhere in society, white society, and Malcolm said this best, and Malcolm's anniversary of his assassination was just the 21st. He said, nowhere in any other society are musicians and clowns and comedians looked at as black leaders. You see what I'm saying? Who's a famous white comedian? Or who's a famous? Give me a white singer. Give me who's somebody white. Is Jasper Timberlake a white leader? No, he a little boy, doing this thing. No one takes him serious. These other white folks like Donald Trump and all these other white people, they are the leaders. So why are we looking at our young people to be leaders? They're not. You see what I'm saying? Only in our society where you would take, you look at a rapper and say he's supposed to be a leader. No, because our black leaders have not stepped up to the plate. Our black leaders are very critical of young black men. Pull your pants up. You pull your pants up, put your pants on, and be a man, stand up for your community, your society.
All right, so look, let's talk about what brought us to this conversation today. Um, you spoke about the Arabs in the community, in the Chicago community,
Right.
and you also spoke about modern day slavery, and
Mm.
you spoke about some of the corner stores in your area. So let's talk about what's going on.
Well, as you know, the Arab slave trade of Africans predates the transatlantic slave trade. We had the trans-Sahara slave trade when our people began to trade with Arabs and begin to accept their religion. You see, so we are such a humble people that what the concept that they had already came from us. There would be no Islam today if it were not for black people. One, the concepts come back from our people. The even human life, all humans come from us. Remember, dark skin is dominant, light skin is recessive. Brown eyes are dominant, blue eyes are recessive. Dominant creates the recessive, but the recessive can never, ever, 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 ever create the dominant. So they come from us. So our people begin to, embrace Islam and losing who we were. We began to enslave those who didn't accept it, which began the trans-Saharan slave trade. Then they went to the East Africa, Kenya, Ethiopia, and began an East African slave trade. So this slave trade goes back over 1,500 years, where they enslaved, African people. We don't know about that. Slavery didn't officially end in a city where Muslims pray to 5 times a day until 1963. So 100 years after the Emancipation Proclamation, we were let free in Saudi Arabia. And yet that slavery still exists today. Now, I'm not attacking Islam because I love the African form of Islam. I love the race first Islam, but I don't like bootlicking, buck dancing, tap dancing, Amos and Andy driving Omar, Uncle Abdullah's. I don't like that.
All right, define what an Uncle Abdullah is.
Again, that's a bootlicking, butt kissing, driving, driving Amina and Omar slave who placates and kiss Arabs behind. And so, although we have a slave trade, Our black Muslim leaders, like Imam Siraj Wahhab, like the chief Uncle Abdullah, Imam Wallace D, who was a follower of Elijah Muhammad's son, I'm sorry. He was Uncle Abdullah. And Minister Louis Farrakhan, they do not speak up against the injustices that our people are facing every day in the Middle East. Now, Farrakhan kind of get on the about the Jew, which Jewish people have shown that they're definitely racist and they definitely don't have our best interests at heart. But no one's out doing evil than the Arab. He is the Ku Klux Klan of the sand. He's worse than the Klan. He's worse than the Klan because they have this kafala system. What they're doing is they're soliciting, all right, our sisters from Kenya, Ethiopia, and Africa to come over to the Arab world countries such as Saudi Arabia, Dubai, Oman, Jordan, Lebanon. You know what I'm saying? When they get there, this kafala system takes their passports and they basically a slave. They don't really believe that they have to pay you because when an Arab sees you, he don't see brother. He sees abid. The word for black people in their language is abid, which means slave. So I don't care how good you can say Assalamu alaikum rahmatullah wa barakatuh. How many ayats in the Quran that you know? Just the ayat saying, Quran reading, slave to an Arab. This is how he looks at you. So they're taking that path and they just mistreat them. Now I'll give you one particular story and I'll put the link. Vic will put the link in the video. A sister named Joyce. They solicited her to come from Kenya to Saudi Arabia. When she got there, she had to clean out the family of 18 people, big mansion. She's working 18, 19 hours a day. I don't know. I know some good housekeepers, but I know my mom could knock out the house in maybe an hour. But the clean 8 is just like they would just, man, get up on top of the ceiling and clean that, just working and pouring. They were such a dog people. They wouldn't even feed the woman. So she complained to the agency that sent her there, and they abused her, locked her in the chicken coop for 3 days with no food, no water. Of course, in the desert, it gets cold at nighttime. While inside the chicken coop, she found the blood-soaked clothes and stains of a Kenyan woman because it had a SIM card, meaning they killed one woman already. Then they let out to clean up. They found 2 other graves of 2 other Kenyan women where they killed these women. She managed to escape, and when she escaped, some gentleman took pity on her, fed her, took her to the police. The no good police raped this sister. They put her in prison as if she was a criminal. And finally, someone took pity on her, and they made her get sent home. She was fortunate. They are sending back bodies of Africans on a daily basis from these countries being killed over there. Women being killed.
Is this modern? This is like something modern recently that just happened?
Right now, today. This is what's happening right now, today. And it's sad because Islam is the fastest growing religion amongst our people. Now, nothing wrong with that. If the brother or sister in that religion recognize I am a black man and does not lose his identity. They're teaching our people that Arabic is the most beautiful language. Arabs are the most beautiful. So it's beginning to worship, these Arabs and Arab society. You see? So you don't have a black nationalist Islam like what Elijah Muhammad taught. It's not taught. Farrakhan watered it down so much. He kissing white people and praising L. Ron Hubbard and all this type of stuff. So you don't have that strong black nationalist Islam that you had in the past. Now you do have certain people like my good brother Eric Muhammad. He's teaching Elijah Muhammad's teachings right and exact. He's not adding to it. He's not taking away. He's mad at me right now, but Melchizedek, these people are keeping it pure. But the rest of these people, running behind Arabs, trying to be like them, not valuing themselves, not knowing themselves. So that's what's happening. That's the trouble with that. Just as in the Christian church, when we used to have a picture of a white Jesus with blonde hair, blue eyes, uh, buttermilk complexion. We worship Jesus, so look like the same white man that's locking you up, same white man that's evicted out your apartment, same white man that's getting lashes on your back. That's what's happening with our people in these areas.
All right, now you mentioned a lot of the corner stores when we talk about the support that we have for those corner stores, and they're not supporting our communities back.
Yeah, I really, when the Nation of Islam in their last days, they begin to embrace these Arabs. If you look at Savior's Day 1974, they bragged about 10,000 Arab citizens. They supported this. So when COINTELPRO destroyed the Nation of Islam, destroyed all the businesses, we gave up our grocery stores and gave up the farmland, the factories, the doing for self for a prayer rug and some beads. Here come Habib in our store. Here come Habib. Don't want to hire black men, but he hire a black woman because they always looked at a black woman as a sex slave. They hire when you look in their store, they hire a beautiful black woman. They don't give our people even a job. They are the ones that's really instigating and contribute to the violence in Chicago because they got the dope, they got the guns, and they feed them to our young people. You see, so yes, it's definitely they go hand in hand. So you have people like again Farrakhan who take up about the Palestinians. I don't care about what the Palestinians go through. That's not my struggle. My struggle is for black people. You see? So he's been speaking out for these Palestinians, and the Palestinians are some of the most racist Arabs that you ever find. We've been crying for them. Jesse Jackson going over there talking to Yasser Arafat and all these Palestinians about the Palestinian plight. And they come right over here, come in your neighborhood, sell drug paraphernalia, sell you spoiling rotten meat, don't respect you. They behind, all this glass and bulletproof, bulletproof glass, and they're in our community. They're in our community, and something has to be done about it. Someone's got to speak out to say, we don't have no friends. No one loves the black man. There is no brown and black love. There is no yellow and black love. There sure as hell ain't no white and black love. It even so bad ain't no black on black love. So we gotta love ourselves, man.
All right, I just got a question from the Facebook group.
Hmm.
Do you believe in unity among races?
Uh, I'm for separation. I don't believe in integration. I don't believe in interracial dating. I don't believe in interracial. Let the white man have his white woman. Let the black man have his black woman. However, when we come into our own, I believe in unity in the sense of us trading and doing business with each other and treating them as human beings. I don't want to go out and kill all white people. You know what I'm saying? But Arabs now I'm getting kind of fed up with them. I don't know, but but I don't want to hurt nobody. But I would like to do trade with other nations as other nations do. But you can't marry my daughter, you can't marry my sister, and I don't want to marry your daughter, or your sister. So uh, that's what I believe. Yeah. Hmm.
Okay, so look, you got something going on in 3 days. In
Yeah.
3 days, on the 27th,
Right.
you got something going on. Talk a little bit about what you got going on, because I think the Nation of Islam is not going to be happy with you.
Oh, they upset, man. They upset. They got the captain of the nation is a 10th degree black belt, trained by one of the baddest masters uh, in the world, Grand Master Moses Powell. He's upset. He's hot. You know. So yeah, because you have the flyer. Can you put the flyer up? Can you show the flyer?
I'm gonna actually, it's gonna be the thumbnail. It will
Oh,
be the
okay.
thumbnail.
Okay. Well, just so I can put up right quick, I'll pull up on my phone so people can see it real quick.
So you got a 10th degree black belt that's
Upset with
upset
me.
with
Yeah.
you.
Oh yeah, he's hot, man. He's hot. He's very hot.
What if he challenged you to the square?
Oh, this ain't old time China Korea. I ain't up for no challenge. I'm I'm challenging. I'm challenging the Arab. Yeah, so he's upset. What we doing? We stepping to our brother Mr. Lewis for the honorable esteem.
I think they froze your internet. You talking about him? I think they done came and froze your internet, sir. On the 27th, my guy Chief definitely got something going on where
Oh,
he's going to be doing it. All right, I think they didn't hear anything you said because I think when you said the honorable, the esteem,
we,
they froze you.
let me say again. We're asking the honorable esteemed Minister Louis Farrakhan, one of the greatest orators in the world. Why have you not spoke out for your people who are suffering by your so-called Arab brothers? I humbly say that the Arab is not a brother to the black man. He's an enemy. He is the devil. He's the devil of the sand. He's the Ku Klux Klan of the sand. He's not your brother. And he has pushed this off on the black community, saying these people are brothers and, has spoke up for them. He took up for Saddam Hussein and everything. All this he's taking up for these Arabs, you know, who come over here and commit acts of terror on the American people. You know what I'm saying? Uh, Cowardly acts of killing children and stuff like that. So uh, he's not speaking out for these Arabs. He speaks out for the Palestinian cause, you know, which he shouldn't be because it ain't our plight. So yes, I'm stepping to him. I'm saying, speak up, Farrakhan. Speak up.
All right,
You
now
got to,
on the 27th, you're going to be at the mosque,
yeah,
Mariam,
outside
7351.
outside of the mosque, live and in your face,
You taking it to their front door.
taking it to the front door as close as we can get. I don't think we're gonna be able to get to the front door because they're not gonna allow. We're gonna be as close as we can get, but right there in front of it, passing out information, trying to wake our people up to say, enough is enough. We love you, brother Farrakhan, but damn it, you're wrong. You're wrong, 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 wrong. And needless to say, not just that for that, because he's took advantage of the black community for a lot of years, man. We
So,
cannot keep taking loss of pimps and religious, people taking advantage of the black community. We can't keep having that. And he's took advantage of the black community for far too long.
all right, before I let you go, what type at
Mm.
this point? What type of blowback have you gotten?
Little threats, a few threats come my way, But I got my juju, so you know, I'm gonna be all right. Yeah, a few threats, people upset. Uh, I probably won't have the best turnout uh, because people, are afraid. Remember Malcolm was assassinated, by the Nation of Islam.
Most
And,
definitely, most definitely.
you know,
Um,
one other man dared to criticize Elijah Muhammad, and they went inside the man's house, killed some women, and killed newborn babies. So they ain't nothing to play around with. So unfortunately, they only have inflicted violence on black people. But so people are afraid. Some of the hardest, toughest guys, have backed out on me. So, but I'm going because I'm loving my people, and I'm not going to cause no harm. I'm going to say I'm asking for help. I'm asking them to speak up.
all right,
And
now, if any,
can I say why I say he's taking advantage of the black community? I want people to
yeah,
understand why.
definitely say why, because there are people who are going to watch this playback and be like, hold on, this guy said Farrakhan is taking advantage of the black community, and a lot of people view Farrakhan as a modern day savior. So, yes, why do you say Farrakhan is taking advantage of the black community?
Well, one thing, I was in the Nation of Islam. I came to the Nation of Islam at the age of 17 years old from gang banging and selling drugs, and he appeared to be our savior. But however, you got young men coming in at that age, and it's all about him. Uh, I'll give you an example. In 1989, he had two Mercedes Benz, a Rolls Royce. His wife, Mother Khadija, is a beautiful woman, so it's not her fault. She had a Lexus. He had a Range Rover. He had an SUV before SUVs came out. Right, all new cars, pretty much new cars. They gave us a begging can to go out and collect money to get him a limousine. That's right, a limousine. I said at that time, I'm not going to do it because I'm taking the green limousine, which is the CTA bus, Chicago bus. Why would I help him get a limousine? Not to mention that he's not encouraging us to get a trade, to educate ourselves. It's all about Farrakhan. He's David Ruffin, and the black community is a temptation. And something used to say one time. I think you told me. You used to say this all the time when he used to come to WRG, right? You say, how does the pastor ride by in the Cadillac and see the members on the bus stop and don't give them a ride?
Yeah,
Well,
I mean, a lot
good.
of times, especially in the African American community, if you go to a church,
Yeah,
and you stand in that parking lot, 9 times out of 10, you can point out the pastor's car without anybody being in that parking lot.
right, right,
And I'm gonna be very honest. I attended a funeral yesterday,
right,
and I was able to tell which vehicle I could sum it down. If there was 100 cars in that parking lot, I can sum it down to 4 vehicles, and I knew that minister would get in one of those 4 vehicles in that car, and he did.
right.
It's all and I've never understood that. I've never understood that when I was coming up, they told me don't question religion. I just kind of fell back because a lot of things about it I don't understand. And they always say that it's in the Christian community that the minister is the father. He's the father of the church home. And I
Yeah,
never could figure out why, if you're viewed as the father, then why could you always have more? Because most good fathers' job is disseminate the process down, and they want their kids to be better than them.
yeah, yeah.
So I
But
never understood that
that's how
why.
we have. We getting pimped. We getting pimped by our religious leaders, and we just can't keep doing that. And one other quick thing that happened, which really hurt me, and I say this to my brothers in the Nation of Islam. I'm not saying this of out of hatred for my brother because I love him. I love the minister. He's a black man. I love him. I don't like the wrong, but I love him as an individual. But one of our young brothers who came, we went to high school together. We were in high school at the time. So he comes in, his father had passed, he just turned 18. He received $7,000 from his father to live on. He got his own apartment, he's in the nation. So let's say Farrakhan is going to California. All right. What they would say is, hey, the minister's going to California. We need to raise $3,000. Who could just go ahead and give 1,000 now? So you say, I got 1,000. This could have been staged or whatever. They clapping, yes, sir, yes, sir. Long live Muhammad. Long live Muhammad. This brother loved the minister. Then they'll go 500. Eventually they get to 100. And so this brother stand up. Let's say his name was brother. Let's say his real name brother Wayne. Uh, who give 100? He raised his hand. Brother Wayne, yes, sir. Yeah, Brother Wayne is a good brother. He's a good Muslim. Oh, he gonna make it to the hereafter. Brother Allah got a special place in his heart. Let's give Brother Wayne a hand. Clapping for him. He gives us $100. Then later on, they may say, who can hold posts at the minister's house? Because you're doing all this for free. They got properties that you hold and post for free. He doing this. Now, no one's telling this young man, what are your plans? You need to get a trade. We want you to help, but you got to get a trade. Have you thought about being an electrician? Have you thought about being a plumber? Thought about being an auto mechanic? Have you thought about driving trucks? If you're smart, maybe you can be a doctor. If you like school, maybe you can be a lawyer. That was never done. It was all about the minister. And when this happened after a few months, guess what happened? My brother's homeless. He called me, man, they kicked me out. Where you sleep at last night, bro? I slept on the park bench. What? Now, this hurts me. So I come to my mom and dad, say, Mom, Dad, can Brother Wayne stay at my house? Can he stay here with us? No. You on your way out of here too. you, you don't tighten yourself up. You might have a roommate because you all you want to do is go to the mosque all day and you ain't doing what you supposed to be doing. So no, keep it up. That's where you gonna be. So it hurt me. So I go to Farrakhan house on 4855 South Woodline and say, listen, I need to tell the minister our brother's homeless. He out there on the street. Wasn't no help for him. This is exploiting young people, and it's wrong. It's wrong. So at least you could do as your son begins to set, because the man's like, well, he's 88, I think, this year. No, 89. He'll be 89 in May, I think, because his birthday is he's born in 33, I think it was. So he'll be 89 years old. At least you could do is begin to speak up and correct some of the wrong that you've done. Mm-hmm.
I feel you. All right, Chief, we got to get out of here.
Okay.
This is supposed to be 30 minutes, but we are past 45.
Yeah,
Again, all
went
right,
quick.
the first thing I want you to do is let the people know where to find you if they want to make donations and contribute to your cause, how they can do
Right.
that.
That's right. I gotta get yours too. You said don't forget now. We got a couple more days. But if you want to call me, call 708-631-4123. You can put that number in the Cash App, right? And it'll say Sankori African Society. I'm gonna ask Vic to put in the link. But please help with don't we're gonna feed people that day. We're gonna educate the people that day. So we want to ask all y'all to help out to make this happy. Again, my brothers and sisters in the Nation of Islam, please don't hurt your brother. I only want to see us liberated and free. I only want to speak the truth. I didn't have to go. They refused to meet with me. They outright refused. I even asked the editor in chief of the Final Call, would he put a story? He refused, hung up in my face, you know. So we have to do this. It has to be done. It has to be done. So I'll send Vic the information for the Cash App, and please help us out, man. Please help. And I promise you, it'll be transparent. We'll keep an expense report, so it won't be March where he gave all this money and we don't know where it went. You know. So please
Okay.
help us and support us this cause. I thank you,
And again,
brother Vic. I love you, man.
love you too,
And
Chief. Me and you
congratulations.
go way, way back. You never taught me
Way
karate
back
though.
like what? Huh? Yeah, you never
You
come
never
to you
taught me
never came to
karate.
the school. I got you. I got you. You can fight anyway. Vic got a one hitter quitter. Vic, I heard Vic knocked out a whole football team one time. He's a strong man. I'll never fool you. He got them hands. Yeah, he country
All right,
strong.
Chief. Chief,
All right.
definitely on the 20. Hold on, I'm gonna ask a question. Will you be live streaming on the 27th
Yeah,
or
that
like?
yeah, that's the intention. We're gonna try to live stream it and live stream it. I'll be giving a special address and the follow up after this. Well, I want everybody to see the video for why we stayed opposition with this Arab. And again, congratulations on your marriage, man. Your wife is a blessed woman, and from what I see, she seems like a very nice young lady. I'm very happy for you, brother. I couldn't know a better man than this brother right here.
Chief,
He
I always appreciate you. You keep me on my toes. You make
yeah.
me laugh. And hey man, you top notch guy to me, man. You've always been there in my corner. You gave me one of my first ever awards, and it's funny. I'm in my studio and I'm looking at my Malcolm X award that you gave me years ago right now.
Let me see it real quick. Let me see. Can you
It's
see it?
across the room. I hate leaving the camera, but it's across the room. My
All right, take,
Malcolm X award. My wife asked me like, "How did you get that?" Because I was like, I got that back from my guy Chief at was it like the first annual Malcolm X award show
well,
or
that
something
back
like
in
that.
2007, right?
Yeah.
Take a picture and send it because I take a picture and send that to me, man. Because that
Okay.
was one of my first ones, man. We got plenty. We also I want to let you know congratulations. In April 23rd, I believe we're having a Black Economic Empowerment Conference, and you're going to be receiving an award because of your many businesses and just the extraordinary brother. This is a beautiful brother, man. Even though he ain't a militant like me, but it's one of the most beautiful brothers in the world. He's. I wish I can just be half the man this brother is right now. He's a beautiful
Chief,
brother.
you better than me because I will be afraid to be in front of that mosque on the 27th. I would be afraid to be in front of that mosque
Hey,
on the 27th.
Don't get it
I
twisted.
don't want no
I'm
problem.
scared. I'm scared. I'm scared too. But one of the things that the Honorable Louis Farrakhan did teach us, he said, "Don't let fear punk you. It's nothing wrong with being afraid, but don't let the fear punk you. You got to challenge that fear to overcome that fear." So I'm afraid. Don't worry. My heart is it's jumping, man.
All right, Chief. Well, we're
Jumping.
definitely
All
gonna
right,
pray.
brother.
We're gonna
All right.
definitely pray for your safety, and we're gonna come back later and do a recap and talk about some of the changes that's been made before you come back to Georgia.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Love you, brother. Thank you.
Love you too, Chief. Ladies and
All right.
gentlemen, boys and girls, that's my guy. That's Cheif Sundiata Keita Kamara. I'm saying it wrong. That's my guy, Cheif. We're gonna go with Cheif. All right, man. It's your boy Big XL. This is the Ryan Dirty Raw Show. I'm gonna come to you guys live as much as often, just doing exclusive interviews with people who just want to talk about their music, their films, whatever they're doing in this community, man. We're gonna provide this platform for them to speak to the people and try to create some change. All right. It's your boy Big XL, man. Ryan Dirty Raw. Until next time, man. I love you guys. Y'all be blessed. Peace.